Just getting our technical situation sorted. So we're down to thirds rocks.
I don't think we're going here yet. I need someone like with the YouTube here because I can. Here, I'll do it. Just let me know. Because all the channels they have.
I don't control it.
It's not up at all.
I'm not ahead of last night. We got round one, and then usually this will be round two.
They should be showing.
It shows live.
It should be showing live.
Yeah, and I'm not getting it.
It's live. You open the YouTube app or you open the browser. If you open the browser, it's not going to show. This user cough.
Cough is yellow.
Okay, thank you. Hello, hello. Yep, it's working now. I got it.
What's this? Jong.
Go.
Okay, folks, I think we've got our microphone issues solved. Again, to start off, I'm Richard Brower and joined by Keith Switzer in the third draw of the AMJ Campbell BC Mixed Curling Championship. We're at the Vancouver Curling Club and we're following a B event game between Cameron DeYoung from Victoria and Wes Craig from Kerry Park. And we're just in action now with the rock coming down from this is Cameron DeYoung's first skip rocks in the first end. He's yellow, Wes Craig is red. Wes has the hammer. And this end is turned around a little from the way it looked before. Fortunately for Wes, he has the hammer.
Yeah, and he's needing it, I think.
So just to let you know what else is going on in this draw, we have the A qualifier going on next door in Sheet C, where Sarah Daniels is taking on Stephen Koff. Sarah, the reigning BC Junior Women's Champion, second in the Canadian Juniors this year. The only female skip in the field, and she's playing quite well so far. So let's go back. This is Wes Craig in the hack for his first shot of the first end. Okay, that's a pretty good result, I'd say.
Yeah, he's left himself protected there to some degree. And he certainly opened up the front of the house nicely so that he'll have access on this final rock.
Well, I think these two teams know each other very well. Wes and his son Miles obviously know each other very well and have curled together a lot. But Wes Craig and Miles Craig have also curled with Cameron DeYoung in the past in men's play, and certainly this year Cameron has been curling with Miles on the Jason Montgomery team that was second in the BC Men's Championship. These two teams both out of the island, and I'm sure they've played each other on many occasions.
You just speak louder. Too quiet.
Well, I'm really quiet now. I haven't said anything.
Okay, here comes Cameron DeYoung's final rock.
He's basically just picking it out of there. And he's picking a few others
Wow.
out too.
Okay, all right, who would have known that Wes was going to get out of this with a blank end? It looks like that's what's going to happen. And certainly that's what he's going to be playing for.
I just noticed a smile on Wes's face.
I would think so. I would think so indeed.
He's still smiling.
Yes, he is. Okay, just to let you know, the first end is being completed over on sheet C, and after one end of play, Stephen Koff is leading Sarah Daniels 1-0.
There's nothing to this game, Richard.
Apparently not. Ooh, is he going to miss this?
No, he's not.
Okay, so again, a very unusual blank first end here. And so it's scoreless after the first end at the BC Mixed Curling Championship between Wes Craig and Cameron DeYoung. We'll be back for the second end momentarily. Yeah. Okay, the first rock underway in the second end. This is coming from Rachel Calicky.
Short guard, looks pretty. Oh, it's dicey. Nicely done.
Pardon me, that's Mariah Klum, which is the lead for Cameron DeYoung's team. Wes coming out, and well, now we know why there's a lot of rocks in play. Wes is already going to be calling a corner guard. Okay, so here we go into the forefoot. The game is certainly on.
A little on the deep side, Richard. Coming down. Well, back 8 there.
So freeze to short called by Wes Craig. And this is Rachel Callaghan.
A little rock intruding there from the
Okay, that's a serviceable shot, but Cameron will just try and remove it for play. Maybe get a little inside roll, I
little
would think.
flop into the forefoot would be dandy.
So this is the first rock for Alex Horvath, second. He usually throws lead rocks on the Tyler Tardy team. Hard to ignore what that team has done in the last few years, winning junior titles, national and world level, 2 years in a row at the world level.
Really impressive. I think that they're it starts to show the level of coaching that we have, and developing the skills very early on. These guys are showing it in repeated wins. So.
And Alex is getting ready for the final Grand Slam of the year. The Tardy team scored an invite to that, so after he's done here, he's going to be curling elsewhere. Okay, here's Miles Craig, Wes's son. Trying a freeze on that back one.
Well, we curled the hair, but the line was good and right behind the guards.
Well, certainly shot rock, and it seems that Cameron thinks it's accessible. Ooh, this looks like it's on the guards.
Tight.
Ooh.
Well, that's okay. He's opened it up and pumping out their own rocks into the house. So. With an opportunity here for West to get control of the forefoot area by moving the rock and holding a little bit behind cover.
Oof.
Looking for that bonus double back,
Yeah.
but not quite there. I think the roll was more important, but they didn't get that either. So.
Okay, so this is Taylor Reese Hansen, who skipped the BC Junior Champions a couple of seasons ago. She's playing third for Cameron. Well, West seems to think it's going to roll out. That's a good shot, though.
That's all you need at this point. No red rocks in scoring position. This goes back to the control of that forefoot area. West just looking to promote the rock on the top of the 12. It can go really anywhere. He'd be happy with it straight behind the yellow rock.
Sure, and
But if it goes back to a freeze on one of those two, he's okay with that as well.
Daleen Powarchuk in the hack, she's going to have a little bit of leeway, I think, because there's already a center guard there that they can hide behind, and she knows it. They're going to have another rock as a guard as well. Okay, seems to have lots of room on this.
Actually, looks like it's going
Okay, they're
straight
going
draw to
around.
the back one, yeah.
All right.
It just hung out on. Hung out a lot. Weight was fine for the promotion, but unfortunately, a little heavy for the freeze.
So again, this is the second rock for Taylor Reese Hansen.
Connect with the guard. Here on the light side. It's always a challenge in the early ends there to get a handle on the amount of curl as well as the changing speed of the ice. So they just thought they had a little bit higher level of speed in that particular path, and it didn't turn out. Ice has been pretty consistent though after the warm-up. It gets to about 14 and a half right away.
Yeah, I played last night on it. It was certainly good. I wasn't out there, obviously, in the BC Mix, but we're running the VCC Championship concurrent with this event. We'll have a couple of draws tonight while they're upstairs eating in the banquet. Okay, so Daleen's rock comes into a good spot. Frozen, that's not going anywhere in the back 8 foot. Daleen's had some success at an early age. She was the BC Junior champion and also curled with Kelly Scott. Played second for her and was silver medalist at the Scotties in 2012. It's on the board. On the board. All right, Alex Horvath giving this a good poke along with Taylor Reese Hansen, or rather Mariah Cologne. Ooh, that's close. Too close.
Wes is doing, but by the position there, it looks as though he's going for. It looks like he's going for a promotion on that top red. Richard?
I think so. Looks pretty close.
Sure does. Just look angle back.
All right, he'll be very happy with that shot.
A little bit of an issue. There's those two yellows out front. The angle's not quite right on it, so he's pretty well protected. Angle raise. Oh.
Yeah, I think he's more or less. I don't think he's going to run it in to try and dig it out. He's just trying to promote it to hold him to one.
Yeah, the freeze bump. Gonna check on the rock speed here, but
yeah. Oh yeah. No, yeah. Okay. Sure.
So you may be hearing in the background over on sheet C there appears to be a bit of an injury issue with one of the curlers. We'll update you when we can.
he's using a bit of weight here, Richard.
Oh, he's missing this. Ooh. Okay, that's going to hurt because now Wes is going to draw for 3 to take a 3-0 lead after 2 ends.
Strange how it goes. Opportunities there, a lot of them, both teams, but all of a sudden, 3-point opportunity.
There you are. Okay, so Wes Craig, an in-turn draw for 3.
Whoa!
Whoa!
Almost burnt the rock on the other sheet.
Okay, so despite the distraction, Wes Craig makes the draw for 3 and takes a 3-0 lead now after 2 ends of play in this B quarterfinal. And we'll be back with the third end in just a moment.
Time is exactly a minute to
Okay.
So why would that be different? So when this is on, there's no our voice is cut out.
Okay, we're back to start the third end here. This is Rachel Calicky in the hat for Wes Craig. And just to give you a bit of an update on the other games going on, Andrew Tolley is playing Tom Bushy over on sheet A. And after 1 end of play there, the score is Andrew Tolley leading 1-0. Okay, so going into the rings on the first one, probably a conservative but well thought out plan by Wes Craig, given he's got 3-point leeway now.
I don't think Wes will hesitate though to cap that if he gets an
No,
opportunity.
no. So this will be a corner guard from Mariah. And here we are, tight 10.
Oh.
Over on sheet C, the qualifying game of the A event, they are tied now, 1-1 after 2 ends of play. All right, so that hangs out a little further than they would want, I would think. Keith?
Yeah, I was just thinking before this rock was thrown that the ice is a little straighter than it has been, you know, from the outside in. Through the normal league play, it's swinging as much as 5 feet from the 12-foot into the center line, and that clearly only went about 2.5. So with that quiet weight, I would have expected it even to go over center almost. So you mentioned the other day that the rocks had been tapered a bit.
They were, yes.
And it must be that the surface is just flatter and we're getting the normal curl of the stone.
So we've got some real gamesmanship going on here now, because that's going around the corner guard rather than a hit by Cameron DeYoung, and now Wes is going to go at it again with a center guard. This is Miles Craig throwing.
Yeah, it's taken a little bit less ice, so this should make it to the center line.
Okay, so that's a well-placed center guard. Now things are really going to get interesting with one team down by 3 and lots of rocks in play, including both teams with rocks behind guards. Okay, Alex Horvath with a big weight peel shot. This looks good. Oh, he's going to get them all. Oh! Okay. We see Tyler Tarter's team do things like that before them.
You know, it's funny, when you're down 3 and peeling, sometimes you scratch your head because guards are your friends.
Yes.
In this case, it just happened to be lined up for a triple, and he already had one behind the guard. So there's some logic to it, but on the other side of the coin, you remove those guards, and you've got less to work with. So.
Okay, so it's all cleaned up.
Square one.
We've got a corner guard that Cameron can use, and I'm sure he will. So
Prefer this up in front of the tee line, of course. I think that's going to be in front of the tee line.
no. Yeah. 2 corner guards, I guess.
Plan B.
So Wes will switch gears now and go to the offensive, going around what is a bit of a guard on the 4-foot, at the edge of the 4-foot. Okay, so here's a rock from Dailene Warchuk. She's got room.
Should finish pretty hard in there, I think.
Yeah, just what Wes asked for. Okay, so corner guard. Or corner freeze, pardon me. Being asked of Taylor Reese Hansen.
Who is that? No, it's Taylor.
All right, this is heavier than planned. Could still come into play though. Not shot rock, but it's still in the rings. Okay, so Wes is not going to go in the same spot. He's going to go wide open.
Pull the play away from that corner guard a bit. See if that attracts.
He may be worried about
Cameron.
setting up a double.
Eventually double, yeah. But here again, if he's not precise with the placement, could set up a double this way as well.
So this will be Daylene's second rock.
Preference would be to have it pretty much on the tee line if they can get it done.
Ooh, okay, she's not going to be there, and she's not going to be the second shot either.
So there is the double.
Double, or certainly at least a hit and roll.
Yeah, either would work, a hit and roll over to a freeze, but there's an opportunity for the double and holding with two buried, and I think that's the preferred shot. As Cameron was suggesting, they could opt to peel that guard or run it back into one or the other of the two reds, but they wouldn't have an opportunity for a double that way.
No. Ooh. Okay, so no roll on that. And Wes is pretty determined that that's what he's going to do, is go around it. So if Wes makes a shot here, he'll be sitting two buried.
Yeah, and even if he comes up just a hair short on this, it's still a good guard, as long as he's behind cover there a little bit. So all is good on this side, unless he comes deep and chips and sets up a double. That would be the only risk.
For you, they're yellow, black. Yeah. Mine are just plain black.
Oh, he's playing the intern.
Yeah, he's going to go around the one that they just nosed. Looks like he's got lots of room and maybe lots of weight too. Sweepers are doing that dreaded stand back and watch move. And Cameron is going to get that out of the rings. I don't know if he's got a shot to lie to or not very easily.
Totally with the ice he took. I didn't see it at all, but I thought he was going around the top guard.
No?
To sit for the freeze.
Yeah.
What an opportunity to actually put the heat on that way. Leaving it open. Well, if he got behind the guard, that would be okay. But he would also plug the path if he put it behind that long guard.
Okay, so this is interesting. I'm thinking Cameron is going off, is looking at an in-off here on his own rock there to get over to the buried red rock.
That would appear to be the case. Effective double here, using his own. His objective is still to remove that red rock.
Mm-hmm.
I'm taking it to
I'm wondering if there's some indecision now. They seem to be looking at another shot. Okay, so he's changed his mind in the hack by the looks of it. He's trying to run it, I think.
Appear to be the case, Richard.
So big weight intern from Cameron Jong. No.
It's hanging a bit.
Well, at least it opens it up.
Opens up a bit, yeah. So West is going to split the house.
I curled one year with Cameron when he was just out of juniors.
Did you?
Very good curler. He played second for us. In hindsight, he probably should have played skip, and we actually offered that to him the next season. But he went on to better things. He and I were similar though in that neither of us could throw up weight with a really big up weight. But he's certainly a very capable curler.
I think that has changed.
Yeah.
He is throwing up weight to the degree of accuracy.
So this is Wes Craig just trying to draw for two and hold Cameron to force him to one. Oh, this is looking pretty good. Ooh, it could be tempting.
Well,
Not quite deep enough. He's looking at it. There we go.
it's a little flat there, so it's not dead easy, but he's throwing the kind of weight he can make that shot pretty easily, I think. He's throwing enough rocks in this area, although he's throwing the intern in this one, and he can't be throwing the out earlier shots.
It's there for two, but it's also there for a steal. If you don't make this shot, you're down 4-0, and maybe the scoreboard in some ways is in his mind that he needs to get a multiple score in order to get back into this game. Okay, here we go. Big weight double. Oh, they're calling it off. Has he got enough? Oh,
Right on the-
well done. Well done indeed. So that in-off gives Cameron Jong a score of 2, and narrows the gap from 3-0 to 3-2, and we will be back momentarily with the fourth end. Okay, we're back with the first rock of the fourth end, with Wes Craig leading 3-2 over Cameron Jong in an all-island match. Wes with the hammer, and Cameron calling for a center guard on his first rock.
Let's see how aggressive Cameron is, but I'm pretty sure he'll mix it up pretty well this game.
So we do have a development in the A game with Sandra Comedina here to come in and sub. I'm not sure which of the women on Sarah's team is wanting to leave the ice, but one of them is not wanting to play any further. So Wes Craig electing to go around that center guard, not quite buried like he'd like, I don't think, but
Just
good weight.
Edge to edge. That's pretty much wide open.
Okay, so Mariah being asked to make a hit and roll behind the center guard she put up on her first run. So nose hits, so West will try and make the same shot now. So again, over on sheet C, we have Sandra Comedina, who has come into the game. And I'm not sure which of the Sarahs is leaving on the Sarah Daniels team. Over on the game we're watching, there's a great shot, hit and roll in behind the center guard. Cameron Jong without hammer is going to be trying to freeze on top of it. Alex Horvath in the hack. Okay, so just to update you on the in the situation on sheet C, where we have the Sarah Daniels team taking on Stephen Koff in the A qualifier. They have rejigged things. They brought in Sandra Comedina. Sarah Daniels appears to have left the game, and Braden Carpenter is now calling the game. So I guess John Cullen will move up to second, and the spare Sandra Comedina for lead rock. It's a very unusual situation where not only do you replace a player, but you replace the gender rotation as well.
Yeah, exactly.
So Henry, this is Henry Wong, the head official, is here behind us. Can you give us an explanation, Henry, as to what's happened on sheet C?
Well, the skip, Sarah Daniel is injured.
Okay.
She's looking for a spare to come in to replace her. You know that once a spare came in, you can change your rotation completely.
Okay.
And they decided everybody move up with the spare coming being lead, and Carpenter started skipping on from now on.
Okay. Do we know what is Sandra's injury? Can you tell, or Sarah's injury?
I don't know.
Okay. And so we don't know how long she may be out or anything like that.
Don't know.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
At least at this game.
All right, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so back to our game on sheet B here. Wes Craig with hammer and a chance now to lie to.
Little hit and flop called.
Miles Craig throwing.
Cameron had the opportunity for the same there, but couldn't quite get the flop.
Okay, good shot, but perhaps a chance to get to two if they hit it quite right. Just an update over on the game on sheet A. After 3 ends of play, there was a four ball in the third end, and Andrew Tully is now leading 5-2 over Tom Bushi. Okay, Taylor Reese Hansen with a rock on the way. They're trying a long run in. Okay.
Didn't take Wes long to get a guard call in there. He's going to protect his assets
Yes.
in the core.
So Cameron obviously deciding to try to bail there. I thought he might go after the top red one that was speaking out, but he probably felt that he wasn't going to get both of them, and so maybe try and make a double some other way. Daleen Poirchuk. Trying to throw the tight center guard.
How's the placement there, Richard? Let's see. It's big guys.
Taylor being asked to throw another upweight run in by the looks of it. So she gets the top one off at least, and
Left herself a corner guard
Yeah.
over there, so that's a significant improvement. Many ways to skin a cat here. As Wes is coming around the outside of the corner guard.
well, going that way probably lessens the possibility of setting up a double of any sort. Okay, so Cameron's going to try and hit roll and get behind those two stones. This will be his first rock of the end, playing without hammer. Alex Horvath giving this a go, trying to keep it straight. This looks like it's going to overcurl.
He knows it. He's got it. Yeah, knows.
All right, so Wes will now have an opportunity maybe to hit roll as well over behind the guard, and that's what he's going to call. Good shot here, and he might have a chance at another 3-under.
He's got options here as long as he gets the roll to the side of the guard. He could choose to roll away and just split the house, but he's likely just playing for 2. So the opportunities for 3 if he can get it behind, for sure.
All right, here we go on it now. See if we can get the right rule. Ooh, just a little late on the sweeping. So I'm assuming Cameron will try and yeah, hit roll and hopefully roll to the right spot and put West into a draw for a force.
See, Richard, I'd regard that as tight ice for a hit. You know, on the rock, on Vancouver Club ice.
I would tend to agree with you, but we'll see what happens. Either that or he's throwing very big weight to try and keep it straight, but then that's a little maybe tougher to make a good roll off something like that. Certainly Alex Horvath is going on. I don't know, he's holding off now. Oh yeah.
Beauty.
Is that any good? Buried behind two rocks, and there's really no play for West, so he's just going to have to throw an intern draw and try and outcount that. Well done, Cameron. You saved your team there. I think giving up 2 and being down 5-2 after 4 ends would have been pretty tough.
Pretty tough to come back from a lead like that with only the 4 ends to go. He's still in tough if West can make the draw here. Control, I would say, after 4.
You know what? I've seen West make a few of those over the years. You don't win multiple BC Mix championships and multiple senior championships without being able to make shots like these. No surprise, that's right on the money. So Wes Craig will score 1. Forced to do so, but glad to do so in the end. And so after 4 ends of play, it's now Wes Craig's team up 42. And we'll be taking the 5th end break and have a little bit of a break in between here while they get 5 minutes off. Okay, so we're in the 5th end break here at the Vancouver Curling Club after 4 ends of play. We've got Wes Craig leading Cameron DeYoung 4-2 in a B event quarterfinal game. What are your thoughts on the first 4 ends there?
It was a lot of good play, Richard. I think opportunities on both sides of the scoreboard, and surprising shifts of the ability to score actually occurring from end to end. There's sometimes where there was 3 and 4 rocks in the house, and they're gone, changing the whole complexion of the ends. So.
Well, I've certainly been impressed by some of the shots the skips have made. In the 3rd end there, when Cameron took that chance and made that cross-house double to score 2, where he wasn't even hitting shot rock to do that. Scored 2 and get his team back in after being down 3-0, and then that great hit and roll he made to save and force in the last end there, and certainly Wes was not shocked or perturbed by it at all, and just simply draws the button. So both these guys can make shots under pressure, and they've both been there. I mean, Wes, as we've said, he's won, I think, 3 BC Mix titles and 3 seniors, I think, as well.
No surprise
there this year, and Cameron has won it well at the junior level and played in the BC Men's Championship this year. in the final game against Jim Cotter. So these guys know how to handle the pressure, I'd say.
Well, there's a lot of curling left to go yet, and it is a close game.
Okay, so just taking a peek out onto the ice again. The other two games have not finished their fourth end. We're just watching now, and it's 5-2 for Andrew Tully in the other B game going on sheet A, and on sheet C, which is where we have the injury situation, and Sandra Comadina came in at the last minute, and so now what we've got is, it looks like we've got Sandra throwing lead rocks on sheet C and holding the broom for Braden Carpenter, as Braden's just putting the broom down for that. And so Stephen Koff is leading that game 3-1. Braden Carpenter with hammer, trying to get multiple points here. He's lying one.
Yeah, this is the hammer. So he's just drawing for his one. He's trying to find a hole to get through there.
Trying to get through there if we can.
Either way, it could be challenging to get through the port and not make contact with a rock. So I think this is the right path, though, from the outside in. And he could also make contact with his own, and a split there wouldn't hurt.
Okay, so we're going to switch you now to our home end camera. And in the far right there, you're going to see Braden Carpenter trying to throw his draw here.
As long as they get by that long guard, he has a chance.
What are the odds?
And it's coming onto his own, but I think he's still okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we can report that Braden has made that draw shot. So now they will go into the fourth end break with the A qualifier tied at 3. Sarah Daniels out of the game, and against Stephen Kopp, but Braden Carpenter fills in admirably. And over on sheet B, which is where we are featuring today, we have the teams back out on the ice, and Wes Craig's team up 4-2 without last rock, so they'll be throwing here, and it will be Rachel Kalecki in the hack and getting ready to start play. Well, one can only certainly hope that Sarah Daniels will be all right. I don't know exactly what her problem was. It's got to be a bit of a stressful thing for her team to have her leave in the middle of a game, especially in a big game like this. And let's hope that she can be back in action and be able to play for the rest of this event. Even if they do lose this A final, this is a team that's so far into it now that they're going to have a good chance to qualify in either the B or C side.
Yeah, I think the loss of your skip obviously is going to affect the strategic approach, but also Sarah's shooting skills are excellent, and a loss of that as well. But I mean, you shift gears, they seem to be doing very well.
Yeah. So over on sheet B, Wes Craig goes into the rings with the late shots, and no surprise, Cameron's going to call a corner guard. Down by 2, I don't think he's got much options. Going after that rock probably wouldn't be very productive. And I would suspect, although that red rock's a little deep, and speaking of deep, so is the guard. I thought Wes would have a thought about whether to go in the rings again or put a tight guard, but obviously he's now got the opportunity to hit this.
It is not in the house, it can't score, so it's job one here, I think. Get rid of that thing.
So Rachel Kalecki trying to make the hit and roll in. Okay, so Cameron, looks like we're going for the corner guard again.
me, Richard, the positioning of the corner guards has changed. And I'm a bit surprised with actually playing a corner guard as far over as the 12-foot. I think you need more control of that edge of 4, edge of 8, because the game is so centralized that if you don't have some kind of control of that 4-foot zone, no matter whether you got hammered or not, it's tough.
Yes, yes. Okay, so there we see the corner guard up, and it looks like. So this is where maybe the 5-rock rule comes into play. West can't be peeling that guard, despite the fact he's got a lead. So Miles is going to have to play a soft shot.
I think he would prefer to be close to the rings here. Ideally, maybe 2 feet in front. The line is pretty good. And so is the rock position.
You guys will do it.
Over on sheet A, we've had a 300 scored. And so it's now tied between Tom Bushi, not Tom Bushi, yes, Tom Bushi and not Tolly, as Bushi's come up with a 3-ender after a 4-ender by Tolly.
Game's on.
So they're tied at 4 after 4 ends of play.
Just a couple? Okay, I can do that.
Okay, there's a good shot, Spitz. So now, well placed in front of that rock. I'm not sure which one is shot. Maybe I guess the red one is. But certainly in good position, and West is going to have a hard time dealing with this situation.
Yeah, this is really tough to see the actual rock positioning in the house, the angle of the camera.
Miles Craig just putting a little tap on this one.
It's definitely a yellow shot there now.
The angle's good. Hopefully we'll get a chance to see. I'm not sure whether they're across the base enough to how they set up the angles.
I think there's a jet taking off here, Richard.
There is, also known as our hand dryer. Okay, so here's Alex Forbath now. Throwing what looks to be a big weight shot. Okay, so now I think West has got an opportunity to squeeze that yellow one out, don't you think? Or at least move it significantly. Maybe it won't quite go.
With the drag, I think he can drag it up there for sure.
Oh, he's not even going to try that. Right now he's asking Daleen Borchuk to remove the guard. He's back looking at it. I'm not sure if he's made up his mind. Okay, here we go. All right. So he's switching gears. He's going from defense to offense. Oh, now we're looks like we're on the third shot. It's okay. It's going to be a top back.
I'm confused, Richard. He's got me going here. I'm not sure what he's doing.
I think he's trying to jiggle the angles a little so that he can get that yellow one to go on the next shot.
Yeah, maybe. Well, that would make sense. That's a good call. I wasn't thinking the guard was particularly good. Although, you know, he could have played a half rock, I think, early and squeezed that yellow rock out, for sure. I'm actually a bit surprised he didn't do that.
Okay, so top back it is. Let's see what the angles are after this is over. Okay, well the other one will certainly go easily now.
Now he's got 100% control, so this is a great job.
So Cameron DeYoung has got shot rock, but really not in a good spot. 4 red rocks in the rings. Taylor Reese Hansen with her first shot. Going for the in-off. Oh, good shot.
Yeah, moved it up over behind the guards, which Wes kind of likes that, although it's a pretty well wired run back there. But they came out of it with a freeze on that back one as well as shot rock. So they're 1 and 2. Can't argue with that.
Okay, so Daylene's in the hack, going to be throwing an out-turn hit on this. See how many of these rocks she can get to move. Well, she jiggles everything around, but she doesn't remove any other ones. So now we've got a real dog's breakfast of things that could happen here. We've got 6 rocks in the rings by the looks of it. 6 or 5.
So Cameron's looking at that double run back. And then here's the double cross house. Double run back would be interesting because it would probably clear 2 of the reds out, leave 1 buried.
Yes.
There, but still 1 more rock to remove. This way you can probably do more damage if you get a good head roll.
Ooh, that's not what they wanted. So this changes the situation. Now I'd say Wes Craig's in a good situation. He's got 1 buried in behind the guards there. Probably not wanting to get too aggressive, but maybe an opportunity as well to force to 1 or a chance for a steal.
Yeah, the challenge is that that double yellow remains there. And basically, I think both reds in house would go.
If they hit it, it's not.
It's pretty
not,
much wired.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? Okay, a timeout call.
So he's either got to jiggle that to protect his reds, because he's sitting 1 and 2, right?
Yes.
But if he jiggles that a little bit, maybe even rolls the shooter to the center line. That's kind of what Miles is pointing to. Then I think they've got they've maintained their shot rocks behind cover. They've got control of the forefoot, and they've taken away the ability to run back easily. Now they can still run back a single, but
Yeah.
this one's wired. It's a little bit easier to make. Almost doesn't matter how they hit it.
Well, I would have to think that Wes's mindset here would be more on making sure that he doesn't give up a big end rather than trying to steal, given the score.
True.
And really, even if he does get a fairly good situation behind those guards, Cameron is still going to have a draw to the forefoot by the looks of it to get out of the end, if need be.
The challenge too with playing just a little split and jiggle those around is that he could jiggle the yellow right into shot rock position. But I think Wes would like to do that. He would like to just touch it and dislodge the run back, and actually maybe even create a block to the ability to hit. If they can just nudge it over about 4 or 5 inches to the outside of the sheet and roll their shooter, even into shot position. If they're really gutsy, they'd have to throw like back line or back weight or something.
It looks like he's not really gutsy, though. He's looking at making the hit and roll now, leaving those guards alone. maybe they're figuring the angles aren't quite as advantageous to Cameron as they might be. But
Yeah. Well, I think I would, if I were him and hitting here, I just roll it to the 8 foot and stop. Try and stop as close to middle of 8 there as he can. The trouble is too, though, that they do that and they're still setting up an opportunity for Cameron to hit and flop in behind cover, shot rock buried in an opportunity for a deuce.
yes,
So,
yeah,
you know, when you have control like this, as he has with 2-shot rocks, my sensibilities are, as you know,
Oh,
to
no.
attack.
You were attacking before we had the free guard zone. Okay, so Wes Craig with an out-turn hit. After some delay in deciding what to do. Ooh. This is looking scary.
He turned it over. I got a piece.
Oh, he got a piece.
And he gets a double. He wouldn't have
No.
Almost.
Okay, so does Cameron think those rocks are favorable to him?
I would be surprised if he didn't do something with that. Run that back, run the double out of there, and you'd be sitting 2, buried. And if he hit it just a hair early, he could get his shooter on as well. Or at least into a good position on the other side.
Yes. Okay, so it's looking like he's calling some sort of an in-turn, I would think, fairly big weight shot based on where the broom is placed.
Yeah, I'm thinking normal hit, and he wants to hit it probably 2/3 of a rock on the center side. Don't quite know how it'll, you know, we can't see the angles perfectly from here. So it may not get the double out the back, but the possibility is there. Leaving him sitting 2.
Well, Cameron's made some great hits so far this game to keep his team in contention, I think. See how this one works out. Here we go. Sweeper's giving it a go. They're going to hold it enough.
He's got the one in the jab, yeah, that worked, and took away that. But the run back is the center now, so that could be helpful. But,
However, it's going to be an opportunity for Wes Craig certainly to lie for and put things back into Cameron's hands to make a good shot to keep his team in the game.
so there's an interesting situation here where Wes is going to come around now those yellows. If he lines it up, if it just comes straight around and sits on the top of the 4 foot, then we have a yellow run back again.
Yeah.
Whereas if he came around the in-turn side and came to the edge of the 4 foot, there wouldn't be a run back. So, just a thought.
Might be a decision then for Cameron to make, whether to go with a draw or a fairly easy run-in, depending on what the angles end up being.
Yeah, the positioning of this shot coming down the sheet is really critical, and it'll make the difference for Cameron, I think, on the call. Sure. This doesn't look like it's going to bury.
Not very much, no. Okay, so he hangs it on the top 12. It's looking fairly obvious that Cameron's just going to throw the out-turn draw. He's got a fair bit of space to draw 2. He's got to get a full 8 foot to score one and hold this game to a 4-3 deficit against Wes Craig and give Wes the hammer back again.
Yeah, there's not much choice here now. So it turns out Wes was just basically blocking the path for drawing and forcing him over to 12 foot for ace there. looks okay.
Okay, just up to the sweepers to sweep it the right amount. This looks like it's going to be into the blue fairly easily.
Yeah,
So it's a routine draw, but not necessarily a one you can take not too seriously, because he was drawing against 4, but Cameron makes the draw. So after 5 ends of play, it's Wes Craig up 4-3, and he'll have hammer when we come back to play the 6th end. Okay, to start things off in the 6th end, Cameron DeYoung calls for what we would think it would be the obvious play of putting up a center guard. And Wes now trying to go around with his lead, Rachel Calicky, throwing this rock.
Still surprising here to me, Richard. The amount of curl is not as much as I would have expected to see. This looks like it's going to get nicely behind, but still had some curling to do to get it full buried. Weight was perfect for the shot.
So here's Mariah Klum with her 2nd shot of the end. Good weight, maybe not quite where she wanted for placement though. I think he was looking to get more on top of that. Wes has got a chance here to maybe hit and roll inside. So Rachel Calicky will give it a go. Ooh, this is on the guard. This is interesting because that's got to go back if he can sweep it out, and Cameron is giving it a go, and I don't believe it. I don't think Cameron does either. Neither of those rocks went out of play. The red one could have, obviously, but the yellow one, you're not allowed to remove that from play. And wow,
Perfect.
a boo-boo that turned into an okay, because if that had gone another inch and hit in the rubber barrier there, then it would have gone back into play. As a center guard.
It seemed to have plenty of weight to actually remove it, but it ground down pretty nicely at the end. So once again, Wes is doing a lot of smiling here. I just can't figure that out.
Okay, so Alex Horvath, his rock is on the way, and they'll try and put up the center guard again. And that's maybe a couple of feet deeper than what they might have liked. So Miles Craig now will have the opportunity to give that a go and maybe remove both those yellow stones.
As it turns out, too, he probably come in off his corner guard over there.
Yeah.
It does.
Oh, well, he misses the double.
And
But,
he
nearly
didn't.
made the shot you called.
Yeah.
So Cameron looks to be calling another center guard, trying to still keep a steal in play. But Wes is the one with the shot rock right now, just outside the top 4 foot, and the yellow rock belonging to the Cameron DeYoung team in the top 12.
I didn't see what happened on sheet C, Richard.
They've just finished their 5th end. We'll see if the
Oh,
score is
there we
okay. So they've posted 1.
Which is a steal of 1.
Steal of 1 for the Sarah Daniels team without Sarah in the lineup. Okay, so here's Miles Craig getting ready to throw again for West, trying another run-in shot.
This looks like about a 3-second job coming down. He got it.
Oh, well done. Well done indeed. So, what does Cameron decide to do now? Do you bail on this? Yeah, he's going to try and hit roll. Maybe he's going to try for the force now. Taylor Reese Hansen throwing and trying to make the hit and roll here. Alex Horvath giving this one a go, trying to hold it straight, seeing where this one ends up.
In the right direction.
A little bit of a roll. Kind of a frustrating situation for Cameron because he's had to switch gears now and go from hopefully trying to get some offense going to maybe a force, but it could be a fairly easy routine blank end too for West Craig. So Daleen Powarchuk with a fairly wide open hit. Okay, so no sit, and does Cameron try and roll this in behind the out? Maybe get a little bit of a roll behind the guard there.
Yeah, the trouble is that the guard is not very helpful here. It's so
very
tight.
close, yeah. As the Rocks have moved up with the hits. Okay, so another hit attempt from Taylor Reese Hansen. Just what they ordered, but it's going to be a fairly easy hit, I think, for Wes.
Changes what he does with it, though. Now steering clear of the roll towards the guard direction, so he's just going to put it out in the center of the rings.
Ooh, a bit of a mistake there, hitting her own first, not getting enough of the yellow one to force it out of the rings. So now Cameron can look at a force.
Couldn't see it occurring, but I'm a bit surprised.
I actually wondered there if throwing the outturn, the in-turn would have been the more natural one to go at. At least that's what I would have seen for me throwing, but perhaps he knew the ice better with the outturn.
I think just the confidence of throwing I think she just didn't throw as much weight in front. Maybe it was a bit on the outside of the stick.
Obviously, yeah. Okay, so here's Cameron DeYoung's first shot. If he can hit and stick, he'll be lying two and looking to try to force West to take one in the sixth end. Alex is going pretty hard on this one. Good shot, nose hit. So, Wes, what are you going to do? He's going to look at a slash double, I guess. Not any real opportunities for offense here, and probably no need to try and go on for offense either. So it's there.
Yeah, it's worth a shot.
It's there.
Yeah. Although he could roll out and give up a steal doing this, so. You know, you just think maybe he's better off with the force.
Well, he's got two shots to come.
Oh, he's got two. Oh, yeah,
He's
okay.
got two.
Yeah, he does. Sorry about that.
This is not quite, is it? No, not quite enough.
It's always a shooter.
So Cameron again will try and lie to and force West to take one. Okay, mission accomplished. Obviously, Wes is not going to, I don't think, try anything fancy here. He just needs to nose hit to take one and then go ahead 5-3. Up 2 points after 6 ends of play.
Yeah, I thought maybe Cameron would try and hang it up and just hit it a hair early of nose so that it would force, if he plays a nose hit on that, he's not going to get shot. You either have to play the other rock or a hit and roll to get in, but unfortunately Cameron rolled to the middle.
Okay, they got the sweepers going on this one. This may be overcurling a little.
Well, yeah, he didn't throw as much weight, but he's going
to lose this, isn't he?
I don't think so.
Oh, it's going to be close, so it's going to hang on. Okay, so mission accomplished. 1 point force for Wes Craig, and after 6 ends, it's now a 5-3 lead, and we'll be back momentarily. Okay, so to start off the 6th end of play, Wes Craig takes one in, or rather the 7th end. Wes Craig takes one in the 6th end, and now throwing for Wes, lead Rachel Calicky to get things going. The other 2 games have not finished their 6th end yet. Obviously a bit of delay on sheet C where we had the injury timeout. And the other game is still tied at 5 in the game between Andrew Tolley and Tom Bushi over on sheet A. So not much of a surprise there, I'd say, Keith, with going into the rings on the first one there for Wes. He doesn't need to take any chances, and Rachel puts that rock in the right spot.
You bet. They still haven't posted the score yet. We have, I see.
We have.
5-3. But, oh, there it is now.
So corner guard now coming from Mariah Colon. Hopefully not in the rings. Oh dear.
Dicey.
Even if it, even if it's not in the rings, it's pretty easy to split around. Or I'm not sure Wes is going to. Well, he's going to go tight guard. By the looks of it.
Yeah. Just off the rings, that yellow. It's saved. Good position.
Okay, this is coming deep, so they're going to go into plan A, or plan B rather, and try and split these around. Probably, if you're going to miss that, that may be the better way to miss it, rather than hanging along center guard to give Cameron something to play.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, if it came to straight nose and bump back, that would be one thing, but this has created a bit of a pocket there,
Yeah.
so I'm sure Cameron's not unhappy with some backing there for future use.
So now they're going to get to place a corner guard in front of the really tight corner guard that Mariah threw earlier in the end on her first rock. So now here we come to the, this is where the 5 rock rule really comes into play this year. You're up 2, you can't play a hit, and now you've got to switch gears and go to sort of an offensive-defensive shot, which Wes is doing by calling a center guard from Sun Miles, when really I would think he would love to be out there peeling that guard.
Yeah, he's still calling for it to protect the high rock in the house, the one in the 8 foot, so that he maintains control on the top of the 4 foot. If he gets it to just over the center line and blocks easy access, that's probably a little bit long from his perspective, but it does the job.
This is where, though, Rachel's mistake on coming deep and splitting those rocks kind of put him into a bit of a quandary, because now those 2 rocks are separated and Cameron's got an in-off on something. Okay, Alex Horvath.
Good shot coming in here.
Needs to be about halfway.
He's making a move.
Just passing it through the rings, so good shot from Alex.
Yeah. In the open, though, I think he would have preferred a little flop behind that corner guard. Opportunity here, actually, for Wes to get a little bit flop behind and firm up his control of the 4 foot.
Well, that's not looking like an inside roll to me.
That doesn't look like one to me either.
Okay.
Again, remarkably straight down there, Richard.
Yeah. They're getting fooled a couple of times, aren't they?
Yeah, that was quiet. And the other did not want to move.
Okay, so Alex Horvath will get another attempt at that hit and roll inside. Get something buried and give his team a chance to score 2 this end and get back into a tie. Well, that's not looking like it's going too hard either.
Yeah, very similar trajectory, and might roll. Well,
Oof.
whoa.
Oof. Okay, I don't
Wow.
think that was called, but that works. That's a double, but I'm pretty sure they were trying to play an inside roll on that one.
So, a little opportunity here for Wes, a clear house, and center guard.
So this will be the first stone for Daleen Porachuk, the third, and an opportunity to put some more pressure on the Jong team.
Pretty good line.
So we can get that one over the center line and get in behind the guard. Not bad. Not maybe quite as far as he wanted over, but certainly weight control was great on that.
Yeah, half a berry. Protecting their path for sure. It'd be tough to get an inside roll off of that. So
Yeah.
That's what they wanted to do, bump that back. But you can certainly get to a straight on freeze, which is not bad at this stage.
So here's the rock from Taylor Reese Hansen. Tap out sideways. I mentioned earlier that Taylor had won the BC Junior Championship. She also won the 2015 BC High School Provincial Championship. And I know, I think high school curling is something dear to your heart. When you were in your day as a kid, high school curling was the thing. There was really not a lot of junior curling.
It wasn't called juniors. We were juniors, but the play was high school and supported by Pepsi.
Yes, the Pepsi Juniors for many years.
But all organized out of the school system completely.
We still have BC high school curling, but it's really not the same level or same attention that the curlers pay to as they would for the junior.
Yeah, I wouldn't.
Junior
It's not
competition.
organized league play, if you like, and that
No.
was actually organized right out of the school system,
So you had to qualify to represent your school out of the league, did you?
basically.
Wow.
You might consolidate teams out of the school, but you'd end up with one or two competitive teams from a high school that made their way out of the school system, out of that school, and
Okay.
then would go into regions.
So did you play several years in that in your youth?
I did, strangely not in British Columbia, even though I started playing in British Columbia in 1959,
Ooh.
but in Alberta. So I played in the Alberta Juniors for 3 years.
Okay. So you've been curling a little longer than I have.
Well, yeah, 2 years, Richard.
Okay, so Wes Craig is in pretty good shape here. He doesn't have hammer, but he's looking to be lying too. Cameron's got one out on the wings there, but it's a game with a center guard. It's a chance for Wes to get in and put some pressure on Cameron and force him to one. Ooh, this is looking pretty close to the guard. I'm not sure if it's going to get by or not.
Cut hard now, so it's tight. Yeah,
Okay, so maybe that'll open up an opportunity for Cameron to go in and bury and maybe have a chance to score two. So he'll go around that guard that we just moved over.
yeah, this is
Wes
a
will
bit
be
of
kicking himself for doing that. That's
bit
the
of
wrong
a-
way to miss.
a bit of a get out of jail free opportunity.
Yeah.
But he's got to make it, and West is still sitting 1 full 8 there, and second one over in the 12th.
So just update the score over on sheet C in the A qualifier. They are tied at 4 between Sarah Daniels' team and Stephen Koff. 2 Lower Mainland squads going at it. And over on sheet A, they are tied at 5. They actually had a blank end after a 4-ender and a 3-ender. Okay, so here's Cameron DeYoung trying to draw around, out-turn, get it buried, and force West into a tough situation.
His line is pretty good. It's to finish pretty hard here. West is going to have a chance. It's not bad.
Great weight control. Just maybe 6 or 8 inches over further would be a little easier.
Yeah, not dead easy.
No,
to get
no.
out.
So West has got to make a decision here.
He's
as to
even
what
looking at the run back. The problem here is with the out turn coming in, he's got a high chance of jamming on the run back one. But on the other side of the coin, that's second shot anyway, so he's not really too worried about that.
Miles likes it, but
I think, run backs are risky at the best.
yeah.
So I think his easiest shot is just a quiet weight hit.
Well, maybe Miles would throw that, given his youth. But now he's going to go for it. Okay, wow, this could be interesting. If it makes it great, if not, then we're going to have a tie game, you would think.
Yeah, he can see almost half a rock there. I'm surprised he's doing this.
Trying
to
force
get it to
over.
go, but it isn't happening.
No, that's not going to go.
It's coming up though. Yeah, it's not going to go, and it did go.
Oh,
but
wow, not enough. Okay, so it looks like we're going to have a good shot at a skip's deuce here with Cameron making that draw around the corner guard. And now he's got a relatively easy draw for 2.
Don't want to belabor that last shot, but then he played the quiet weight hit and flop. And then it puts a lot of pressure on 3 shot stones in the house, and Cameron, you don't want to be rolling out of a situation like that. So.
Well, Cameron's had a few must-make kind of shots so far in this game, and he's had a good performance, even though he's not leading. He's made some key shots to keep his team alive, and it looks like he's going to do it here again after making a draw around the corner guard to set up a deuce, and they seem to like this one.
Well, it looks pretty good. Line's perfect anyway.
And there you have it, a fairly routine draw. So Cameron DeYoung picks up 2. Score is tied at 5 after 7 ends. Wes Craig will have the hammer in the final determining end, and we'll see what happens. We'll be back momentarily. Okay, no surprise here. Team's tied at 5 heading into the last end. And of course, the team without hammer, which is Cameron DeYoung, is asking for center guard from lead Mariah Colomb. And she looks to have done the job. So, no, this is an interesting question. Do you play the tick or do you go around? I know what I tend to do, but I'm wondering what you'd like to do in this situation.
I would, in this case, I would probably attempt to tick.
Would you? Okay. Well, Wes is coming around, which I tend to like to do when I'm tied. If I'm up one in this situation, I like to tick. Or if the rock is really tight to the rings and it's easy to tick it in and then deal with it on your second shot. But Rachel Kellicky's going to go around the center guard that's been thrown.
I think that if you don't, you play I would play a tick with quiet weight, and if you don't make it, at least promote that yellow to the back of the rings.
Yes. Wes is obviously going on with the philosophy that first one in wins or has control. And Cameron looks to be calling just another long center guard. So if he makes the long center guard, I'm wondering if we'll see Wes just put one right back on top of the one they just threw.
I would think so. I'd be surprised if he did otherwise. I think there's no choice for Cameron. He's going to be putting that long guard. Well, he is putting the long guard. If I looked. Not so long, but it's in fun. So now he's playing a tick.
Okay, now we're playing the tick. Okay, this is fun. This is fun. So Rachel was asked to go around on her first one, now she's playing the tick.
I suppose depending again on the weight you choose for the pick. If she misses that, she could just come in gently tap the one in the house back a bit and do what we were talking about.
Okay, they're giving this a go. Let's see how close this is. That's going to go into play. Well, maybe not. Maybe not. Wow.
Yep.
That's a great shot.
Fairly heavy tick, but the weight was good for the shot.
Okay, so we're into seconds rocks now, and here's Alex Horvath. Alex again going to be throwing the guard by the looks of it.
Going to keep it tight and splittable.
Okay, so we slip this one into the rings. I don't think much surprise now. Wes is going to have his son throw some up weight and move some rocks out of play. It's a hot one. Looks like he's rolled it a bit, but he's left a guard up, but probably far enough over that Wes isn't going to be overly concerned with that. So another center guard attempt from Alex Horvath.
This will just continue, I suspect, for a bit of time here in the Peels. He could actually take the peel and promote the red into the rings.
Okay, so another big kick out of the hack from Miles Craig and trying to clear this one out.
Ooh, that's it.
Successfully done. And we can report over on Sheet A in the game between Andrew Tully and Tom Bushi that Nat Tully, rather, has scored one in the sixth end, and they're leading 6-5, playing 7.
Down to third rocks on that sheet, so.
Taylor Reese Hansen again trying to throw a guard.
Not quite a center guard, Richard, but it's in the realm.
Okay, so Daleen Powarchuk being asked to make the intern peel. Good shot. Takes the yellow one into the rings. Okay, a timeout from Cameron DeYoung. I don't know whether that's a time clock issue or whether that's a strategy, what do I call issue.
I think so.
But the teams get 2 timeouts each game, and Cameron hasn't used any. I don't think, has he yet? No,
I don't think
believe
either
so.
team.
No.
No, and this is good timing for it. A lot riding on this particular shot. And with the second shot in there now, that makes a difference. Eh?
Yeah. So, but the question is, well, I mean, Cameron, I think, has to deal with this red rock on the top 4 now, does he not? Leaving it to last rock. I don't know. Well, certainly, it becomes maybe a bit of a cat and mouse situation here. If he puts up the center guard, is Wes automatically going to peel it?
Or guard it.
Or guard it?
Come around
Or what?
I'd be surprised. I mean, the score is tied, so I still think he's going to throw it to third.
Well, there's obviously a fair bit of discussion about it.
He's, that Rock of West is pretty good.
And really that comes down to Rachel the lead throwing that first rock around the center guard that was there originally and placing it in a very useful spot for Wes. It's still there all these rocks later as one that the Cameron DeYoung team has to deal with.
They could, and I suspect his thinking is if I just freeze that top red, make him think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's certainly an option I think they'd be looking at.
But if he doesn't get the freeze perfect, he's giving the game away almost. So I think his best defense is to have the guard. I think that's what he's called.
Okay, so this would be Daleen's, or rather Taylor's last rock.
As long as it's somewhere near the center line, I think that'll be fine. No choices then. But West is going to be playing. Sure. Well, it depends on the placement. If they get it tighter. That's pretty, a little more curled to the center line would have been better, like square on the center.
So regardless, though, Daleen will be asked to peel this again. And successfully done so. She leaves a bit of a corner guard, but I don't think that will be much of a factor. Okay, Cameron seems pretty set on what he wants to do, so no, this is interesting. He's going around the corner guard. Okay, you're shaking your head a little.
Want that? Is it less in?
Yeah, I'm not sure, Richard. They are going around the corner guard. It puts two in the house, but it's just a bit surprising. I don't think the rock out in the 12-foot is going to make any determination about the result of the game.
Well, you'd have to think that this is something they discussed in their timeout. In knowing that if they put up the center guard, it's likelihood that they're going to peel it. Okay. It's a great shot around the corner guard. Whether it's the shot that's going to work for him.
Maybe he has to have it.
Well, if I had a hammer, I wouldn't be leaving that red rock there either.
Oh, that's true.
Okay, so now Wes is perplexed that he's going to call it for that.
Maybe he's successful. He's convinced Wes that there's a problem here.
Okay, so over on the A event game, we've got Sarah Daniels' team up by 1, 5-4, playing the last end without hammer, and we're switching a camera over there to take a live view of what's going on while the game on sheet B goes into a discussion about what to do. So, Braden Carpenter calls up the center guard and replaces Sarah Daniels, who's off injured, and puts up the center guard. Stephen Koff puts up the corner guard, and away we go. We're going to be going around the center guard on sheet C there. Again with the Red Rocks, Braden Carpenter / Sarah Daniels leading by 1, but without last rock.
How about just drop for second shot here, sitting in full 8, where Wes's broom is right now.
So we're looking at, so let's switch over now to where Wes is looking at what we're trying to do here on sheet B.
So I think I would want to go to the other side. Just go to the open, if you like, side, and sit full 8, straight across from the rock and 4-foot, and then Cameron's got to do something with that rock and 4-foot.
Well, his big concern, I would think, would be not to leave Cameron a double.
Yes, well, that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to place it. Or if he leaves it double, then it's either going to jam on the yellow somehow. His own on West. But even then, if they're playing that, they're playing away from the center line. So.
Okay, so Wes is obviously looking at making a draw. In-turn draw over to the side there. He doesn't have to go tight around the guard like Cameron did.
So the ideal placements are probably almost a corner freeze on yellow. Or straight beside it. That'll protect it. Lots of weight.
Looks like they may have swept out a little bit more than they need to. No, that's good. That's pretty good.
Yeah, it's got they've got the flop and jam.
Yeah.
But you know, it's playing over the center, like I said before. So now it's going to be a wide open 4-foot for the win. But once again, 3 rocks. Well, maybe 3 rocks. I think there's not good luck jamming. Maybe not. He's got no choice. He's got to get rid of the off the 4th. He could just play a straight back bump on that 1 and a 4 to the back of the 4th.
Yes. Okay. Well, he's got to move it. He'd be sitting in the 8th though.
Yeah, fully.
So he'd
Well,
have to.
he'd have to hit it.
You have to move it
That's
back.
right.
That's
That's right.
well, obviously, lots of discussion again about what to do here.
And he's got to be shot too.
He certainly does.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you're not shot, you're shaking hands, aren't you? Okay, let's take a quick peek now over at the A qualifying game. Again, this is where Stephen Klopp is down 1 with hammer. He's playing yellow rocks and looks like he's trying to throw a peel here with the Sarah Daniels rock in behind cover. He has to ensure that he scores here. That's young Matthew McCready peeling off that center guard. And this really is a cat and mouse game on sheet C with Stephen behind the corner guard and Braden 1 on the 4-foot, or just biting the 4-foot, throwing up a center guard. However, let's switch over to our game here as Cameron Jong heads down the ice to throw what is going to be his final rock of the game.
So this is a hit and roll flop with the shot rock in front of Wes's last draw. Can't roll high or it won't be shot.
No. Okay, here we go. Signal seems to be that it's up a bit. Close. Okay, there we go. That's very
Nice little
serviceable.
roll. Well, it's a great roll behind the card now, so it's just a clear draw. But
So not much choice, but we kind of knew it was going to come
That's
down to
what
this.
it was
This is what it was predictable, that West was going to have to throw another draw to win. Tied at 5, it's Cameron's young line 3, but really he's done what he could this end.
absolutely.
But I think we would both be surprised if West were to miss this. It looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, they backed off to keep it clean now. So. Yeah, great shot.
Okay, no surprise there. He's right on the button. Well done, Wes Craig. So Wes Craig wins 6-5 over Cameron DeYoung. It's a B event game, so Cameron gets knocked down to the C event, and Wes Craig moves forward in the B event, and he will play the winner of the game going on sheet A, where we have Matt Tolley and Tom Bushi going at each other. Tom Bushi scored 2 in the 7th end, and he is leading 7-6. So let's go take a peek now over to sheet C. And here we have the A qualifier going on with Stephen Koff and Sarah Daniels' team. Hit and roll out there.
Thank you.
So the lady you're seeing in the rings there with Braden Carpenter is Sandra Comedina, called partway through the game to come in and replace Sarah Daniels. They then rejiggled the lineup and moved Braden up to skip and brought Sarah in at lead and replaced, or Sandra in at lead in place of Sarah Daniels. And moved John Cohen up to second.
Sandra's holding the room.
Well, she's a senior now, you know.
Yeah. Yeah, she's a good sweeper though.
Yes. And honestly, you called her in 2014 when you were in the BC Next, and she was your third there.
Oh, it's a bit worse? I'm guessing.
She's had lots of experience at the women's level too, with Diane Bouchelot getting to provincial finals.
Repeatedly, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like we're in a strategy of going an extra in here with Braden deciding to hit Stevens' lock out of the rings. Stevens going to go around the corner guard as a way to try to generate offense and get two. But even if Steven makes a good shot, Braden's still got the opportunity to lie to. He's got to be careful maybe where he places it.
This is shades of the game on the neighboring sheet.
Yeah.
Gary gonna fix it. Gary said we're going to fix it.
So the winner of this game on sheet C that we're looking at now qualifies out of the A event, and they don't drop down into the B or C event. They move forward into the Page playoff game, and this is only draw 3, but they don't need to be back on the ice again until draw 7 on Saturday, so they get lots of time off. Or draw 7 on Sunday, is it? Sunday morning? No, Saturday. Saturday. Okay, so Stephen Kopp going around the corner guard, maybe a little bit deeper than he needed to go. But, okay, timeout from Braden Carpenter. All right, Switz, what do you do in this situation?
Well, we gotta really look at that score. 5-4.
So you're down 1, or you're up 1 without last draw. You're lying 1 and 3. Stephen Kopp has gone around the corner guard. He's lying second. It would be nice to get rid of that yellow one, but
Can't see it.
it's not easy to do. Well, it looks like they're contemplating making a freeze on that.
You know, bird in the hand is worth two in the bush here.
You'd be trying to set a guard.
Absolutely.
It doesn't really surprise me. You're never one to shy away from high-risk shots.
No. Yeah. You know, otherwise you're into an extra hand.
Well,
I'm happy to win the game.
win it or lose it quickly.
Yeah, well, maybe. It's how confident you are in placing cards.
Yes.
Is the issue.
Yes.
And you know, the way that I tend to play the game, as you know, is to throw a lot of draws and guards throughout the game, so
Yes.
you know the ice.
Yeah.
And if you don't do that, I can understand maybe not wanting to do it.
Well, they're working on this one. It's really just a matter of weight control now. That's going to be a little wide for the freeze, isn't it?
It's slowing down now. I was saying, see, they got a little touch, and that was all they needed.
If he'd gone by that, then Stephen would have had hit for 2 in the win. All right, another timeout.
Well, he still has to hit for 2 for the win. He's
Oh, okay, no, now don't tell me you'd play that.
no, but Hacker.
Hacker had to.
Yeah.
It's perfect for snooping.
It's actually not that tough. It's just risky, that's all. Little tick double.
Okay, so over on sheet A, you may see over in the top left of your screen there, Matt Tully's heading down the ice. And he's going to be throwing an intern hit on Tom Bushy's shot just behind the button. He needs to hit and stick to score one and to put the game on sheet A into extra ends. See if we can get a better view of that shot. Well, not quite. There's Matt heading down the ice now.
It looks like he has a clear track. Out turn, maybe, is it? No, he's throwing the intern.
Throwing the intern. However, he has to stay in the race to put that game into extra ends. Okay, so we're back over to sheet 3 here. Stephen Kopp. He needs to, this just looks like he's throwing a downweight hit and stick to put this game into extra ends. All right, here we go on the sweeping. That looks pretty good. Oh no, they're going.
Richard, they're playing that. They're playing for. He's my guy. He's. Oh, a nail!
Wow!
Oh, they swept.
Wow!
I'm surprised it didn't curl.
Okay, now.
Honestly.
So Stephen Kopp gambles and loses. And Sarah Daniels' team is into the playoffs without Sarah Daniels. Fortunately, she's got a number of draws to take off. And recover from whatever it is that took her out of that game. Wow.
Well, that's quite a shift. He went for it, and I have to give him credit. But he and I thought he had it halfway down the sheet, and then it just didn't finish. Like he had the edge of the rock, basically, from halfway down the sheet.
Yeah. That's a gutsy call, though. Wow. Okay. So over on sheet A, while we were so excited with what was going on sheet C, it looks like Matt Tully has indeed made the shot. So he's going to be going into an extra end.
Are you sure? It looks like it's
he hasn't.
8-6.
Oh, I'm sorry. Pardon me, I missed that. Okay, so must have racked on the guard, and Tom Bushy wins. He will advance in the B event. Now to play. What was it? Play West Craig. And West Craig and Tom Bushy will battle into the B final against Stephen Kopp. Okay.
Want to talk to Sandra or someone?
Can you sit down and talk? Yeah.
Sounds good.
It's quite the game.
It was quite the game, yeah.
The shift of gears.
Oh yeah, it's nothing I've ever expected before.
I was the lead.
Okay, Braden Carpenter. Congratulations on qualifying with your team through the A event. Lots of questions to ask. First of all, what has happened? What's happened with your skip, Sarah Daniels?
She has a little bit of a sore leg. It's kind of I wouldn't say an injury, a pain that she's had all year. So we made a decision to take her out, get a spare, so she's ready for playoffs.
Okay.
So hopefully she's good in the next 36 hours.
Yeah, well, that's one good thing about playing a page playoff out of a triple knockout.
Yes.
The A qualifier gets lots of time off. You got 3 draws off. You don't have to be out until draw 7. Highly unusual situation too, where not only do you lose a player, but halfway through the game you're switching your lineup around.
Yeah, it's.
How much discussion was there about what to do in that situation?
We just kind of thought, I have skipping experience, so it was pretty easy for me to go to throw in last and call in the game.
Yeah.
Sarah Loken played third years ago. John is a great curler, so he can throw that weight. So, and then Sanders played lead for years, so it was pretty easy decision, just to quick swap here and
Yeah.
there, and it worked out.
Okay, and not only did you bring in a spare in the middle of the game, but you put the spare holding the broom for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so what was the thought there and all of that?
Well, we just thought, Sarah's been sweeping my rocks all weekend long here, so she's been pretty comfortable with that. So thought just keep going, and Sandra's played third this year with her ladies team, so yeah.
Okay, well, it obviously worked out well because you would often think with a sort of a traumatic thing like that, having to pull your skip out, that it might be tough for your team to come back, but you guys turned it around and took the lead. So kudos to you for keeping your things together. Okay, I have to ask you about Steven's last shot in the eighth
On
end.
the eighth there.
I thought you made a good shot.
Yep.
A little scary though.
It did, yes.
If you didn't tick his rock
Yes.
there, then you were looking at a loss. Okay, if you're Stephen Kopp, would you be throwing that very thin double, or would you be just trying to nose it and go to the next round?
I would probably have nosed it, just because the last couple ends have been hard to draw. It's kind of been, I wouldn't say guess, but it's gone slower.
Okay.
It's been a little patchy here in spots, but no, I would definitely be playing that nose hit and force the extra.
Well, give him credit, I guess, for
Yeah.
having the guns to try it. So, thank you for joining us, and
Thank you.
hopefully things go well with your team.
Yes.
And it's good to have Sandra in the lineup available for you
was,
shortly, but
yes.
hopefully you don't need her again.
No. Hopefully Sarah's good.
Okay, thanks very much. So
Thank
this
you.
is Braden Carpenter from the team that just qualified, first team to qualify to go in the playoffs here at the AMJ Campbell BC Mix Curling Championship.
Thank you.
We'll be back shortly.
Thank you, Richard.
Thank you.
For your time, and Richard.
Okay.